But 3, 4, 5, 10, 12, we don't have time.
Makeup done, high heels on, blue dress on, diamonds done.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl BK Naturally. Thank you for clicking on another video. If you are new here, take a moment, hit that subscribe button, ring that alarm, and sound off in the comments for your girl. Let me know you're here, let me know you're watching. We would love to have you join the family. So today I decided to do like a quick video on a few tips that I think would be helpful for someone who is looking to do more wash and goes, who is maybe new to wash and goes, and you know, you're either nervous about trying them out or you're just looking for things that are going to help you achieve the best wash and go that you possibly can. And I will say that this video was prompted for me by a video I watched from, I believe the young woman's name is like Destiny from Afro Opinionated. I will link the video that I'm referencing down below, but she did a wash and go, and you know, she had asked for like tips in her video about what she can do to kind of achieve like her best wash and go. And I left a few tips there, so I was like, of course, why not bring them here to my own channel so that they're available for everyone? And that's what I'm doing today. So if you are new here, I am someone that primarily does wash and goes. Wash and goes, I think, allow me and my hair to be the lowest point of manipulation for my strands. Like, it's naturally what my hair wants to do. It's naturally how my hair thrives. And I find that when I am in this state, I think my hair grows the fastest and the growth patterns are like the most consistent. So that is just, you know, the nature of my hair. My hair is tangle prone, it is frizz prone, and the less I can do to it, the better off my relationship with her is. And I just find that wash and goes are that thing that allow that to be, you know, to just kind of allow both of us to thrive. So I just wanted to share a few quick tips that I think can help and maybe be beneficial to anyone that, you know, does wash and goes, looking for ways to improve them, and or if you're new to the wash and go scene and you're looking for how to get started, you know, what are some of the things that you can do. So my first tip, and I think this is pretty common for people that are just starting out, you know, they do one wash and go, it doesn't work out, and then they're like, you know, forget this, I don't want any parts of it. That tip is don't give up. Like anything else in this life, if you are going to succeed at a wash and go, you do have to do it more than once. I personally believe wash and goes are about training your hair. Like, if you're new to them, I would suggest trying them out for a couple of months consecutively. Not do your wash and go this week, do a twist out the next week, do a wash and go, then do a braid out. No. When you are training your hair to do something, you need to do it consistently and repeated on a repeated basis for a specific time period. And I think that is something that will let you know, one, and I'm not gonna say that your hair is wash and go capable. Everybody's hair is wash and go capable. But if it's something that you are going to get the result that you are looking for from the wash and go, and it will also allow your hair to get used to what it is you're trying to do. So my first tip is don't give up. The second tip that I think is beneficial when you're trying to wash and go train is to have a solid routine. And I'm not talking about having a solid wash day routine, you know, meaning that you just wash your hair regularly. I'm saying that when you're doing wash and goes I think are less forgiving than other styles when it comes to how consistent we are with washing our hair. So if your hair is not trained, meaning if you are an untrained wash and go natural, I would suggest setting in place a very specific day each week, you know, and this is if Let it be the same day every week if you are a person that really only wants to wash your hair once a week. If you are someone that is okay with and can, make it work in your schedule to do your hair twice a week, that is my suggestion at a minimum, that you should be doing your hair at least twice a week. The hair needs to have constant access to water in order for you to do what we call moisture training. If you can't do that, that's not saying that you cannot be successful with a wash and go. It may just take a little bit longer for your hair to get trained on it. So my suggestion is have the regimen be something so consistent that it happens the same day every single week, so that you're creating a pattern around when you're doing your hair, so your hair can get used to the idea that, okay, I know every single week I'm going to get myself some water on this day, whatever day that is. And if you're doing it twice a week, pick 2 days and stick to those days. If it's going to be Wednesday and Sunday, do it Wednesday and Sunday. If it's going to be Tuesday and Saturday, do it Tuesday and Saturday. Don't stray from that for whatever the time period is that you're going to, try this out. The biggest thing that I noticed from doing that, and this is when I was doing it, my hair is trained. So I don't necessarily have to stick to such a rigid regimen for my hair to bounce back. It may take, if I stray away from doing, wash and goes for a few months, it may take a wash and go or 2 or 3 for my hair to get back. But ultimately, my hair is going to conform because, again, like I said, that is naturally what my hair wants to do because that's what it's used to. But if you are someone that is new to this, or you just haven't perfected it, in my opinion, I think doing this will, one, it will allow your hair to know when it's going to be washed. And what that will do is your hair will start to hold moisture for exactly that amount of time. And I'm telling you things that worked for me and what I started noticing in the changes of my hair. So it is something to try. I'm not by any means saying that this is law. I'm not saying that this is science. I haven't studied the science of it. But what I have studied is the things that I've been doing, that I did, and that helped me find success in achieving these wash and goes, right? So I'm saying that to say that, it may work. It may very well work for some people, and it may very well not work for you. But it is another way of trying to achieve that success. So the second thing I noticed is that your hair will begin to more readily receive water when it's expecting to be hydrated. And what that means is your hair will not go through those processes of not accepting the actual water. And this is coming from someone, so I used to be straight all around low porosity. And I don't know, and it very well could be I moved, the water changed, the type of water change. I don't know if I'm in hard water or soft water. I need to do a water test, to be honest. But I've always had, like, even when I was back, in New York, calcium builds up over time in general. That is natural. Now, how quickly it builds up, I don't know if that's the thing that determines if you have hard or soft water. But I did notice that when I started coming, down to the South more regularly, my hair started responding differently to the water. So in this current state, I do not believe I am fully low porosity. My hair, I believe, is a mixture of medium to low porosity. I do have some spots in my head that are low porosity, and I know because they take forever to dry, right? But the majority of my hair now dries rather quickly. My hair also does not take as long to get wet as it once did. So I'm saying that, to say that I know that some people will argue the whole porosity thing, but again, when you get your body used to doing something, you know, it kind of becomes an expectation, like, okay, this is what we're doing now. It's called building habits, the same way we build habits in anything else. If you go to sleep at 11 p.m. every day, you wake up at 6 a.m. every day, guess what's going to happen naturally after a while? At 11 o'clock, you are not going to be able to keep yourself up. At 6 a.m., regardless of what's going on, you are going to be awake. I think that's just a natural cycle of building habits. So why we would think our hair is any different, I don't know. But, you know, if there is science supporting it, you know, great. If there isn't, great. But this is what I have noticed. And the hair will be more receptive, and it will actually seemingly be expecting to get hydrated. And the thing I noticed with that too is when I would stray from that, that is where I would start to have issues with retaining moisture. Because now my hair wouldn't open up, because I believe it was trying to hold on to what moisture it had. So it's like, well, you know, I don't know. Now you took us off our program, what we're doing. So I'm not going to do anything else, because I don't want to lose what the heck I already got, you know? So, and that could just be the theory. I don't know. Maybe that's not what my hair was thinking. Who knows? But I'm telling y'all what I noticed. So point 3. We talk about saturation, and I do think saturation is key to achieving a good wash and go. Your hair has to be saturated. Does that mean you have to do it in the shower? I don't think that's what that means. A lot of people say it is easier for you to do a wash and go in the shower. I think sometimes it is. To me, I've done it that way. I think for certain products, depending on the product, it may help the product work a little better. But what I have found mostly when I do my wash and goes in the shower is that my hair takes forever to dry. And I think it's just because it's so much water, like you're closing in the water inside the strand, you're closing in water on the strand, and then you're layering, you know, 2 or 3 products on top. It makes it nearly impossible for the water on the surface of your hair to evaporate off, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying that your hair does not need to be saturated, but what I am saying is that I don't necessarily think for you to have a successful wash and go that it has to be done in the shower. What I do think you can do is resaturate the hair section by section if you're someone that does not prefer to do a wash and go in the shower, and, you know, squeeze in some of the water. If you feel like it's a little too much, squeeze off a little bit. But once you have that section saturated, then go in, start to layer, like, either if you're only going to use a leave-in, you know, layer your leave-in. If you're not someone that applies it in the shower, give it time to soak in a little bit, and then go in and layer like your gel, your moisturizer, or your gel. Now, once you saturate the hair, yes, use your water bottle to keep the hair moist, but you don't necessarily have to be in the shower, in my opinion, to achieve a successful wash and go. I would repeat that with each section. And then the other thing that I think helps is, once you're done with a section, roll the section up until you are done completing all of your hair. Drop everything at around the same time, so that one, you can start the drying process evenly, if that makes sense. And then so you don't have the air affecting the element, like the parts that you've already done, before you even finish the rest of your hair, if that makes sense. So that's my 3rd tip. Yes, saturate the hair, but you don't necessarily have to be in the shower to achieve a successful wash and go. So the 4th tip that I have is re-moisturization. I know that some people talk about not wanting to, or not feeling like they should have to re-moisturize your hair. I have a video on this that I posted probably very early on when I started my channel, and I will link that up in the cards for you guys. But I think it was something similar, like, you know, wash and go tips, right? Where it's like we talked about things that people are doing wrong when it comes to like hydrating and hydrating and moisturizing their hair. One of the points that I made was, and this was kind of more science related, right? Where it's like, you wash your skin every day. You have to replenish your bodily hydration every day. Why do you think your hair is any exception? And the way our body works, your body is comprised of, I believe, about 50 to 60% water. Your major organs are 70 to 80% water. If your body is diminished in its need for hydration, there are what are called stores in your extremities that your body begins to pull from. Your hair is one of them. Your fingertips is one of them. Your toes is one of them. Which is why you will see stuff like when people are dehydrated, their nails get brittle, their hair gets dry and brittle, it starts to break off, their toenails get dry and brittle, and they start to turn colors. If your hair is something that's a part of your body and it's virtually alive inside the follicle until it comes out, you're feeding the follicle that's feeding your hair. Why would you think that you don't have to re-moisturize your hair? Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. But to each his own in that, like that is your right. But I'm making this point to say that I think it is imperative that you re-moisturize your hair throughout the week. Your hair needs a refresh. And when I talk about, you know, kind of being the hydration queen, like y'all know, I'm all over everything hydration. If it's not hydrating my hair, I don't want any parts, period. Think about it this way. When your strands are hydrated from the inside out, and then you protect that hydration layer with a surface layer of moisture, it prevents the elements from sucking the moisture out of your strand. Does that make sense? So when that top layer of moisture is gone, which is what we typically talk about when, you know, we're saying like, dang, my hair feels dry. Where else is that moisture? Where is that moisture going to be sucked from in order for the strand to continue to feel moisturized or for the elements to interact with on your hair? It's going to start to suck the hydration out of your strand. So yes, refreshing is your friend when it comes to wash and goes. My suggestion is adding moisture at a minimum every other day, especially if you're not planning to reintroduce water to your hair within 3 days. It can be a light refresher. It can be, you know, you're going in with like a leave-in, you're going in with, you know, moisturizing cream, a lightweight moisturizing cream. You know, you could be refreshing the style completely. Whatever works for you in that capacity, do it. But the hair needs to be introduced to some type of water on a consistent basis, even between your wash days. The fifth tip that I have is detangling. Detangling is super important when you're doing wash and goes. And for one, the biggest reason is the wash and go is just not going to look good if your hair is super tangled. You're going to run into just a ton of frizz. A lot of us have frizz naturally. Like I said, I am frizz prone, child. Like I'm frizz prone. You can look at my hair with a side eye and it will frizz up. But you have to also do the things that are going to help you manage that frizz throughout, and detangling is one of them. Detangling makes sure that the curls are not getting caught up in one another unnecessarily, and not too soon or not sooner than they are going to, because it is going to happen. It helps with smoothing the hair, and it helps remove any of the tangles that are in the way from you having the ability to actually smooth your hair down and, you know, keep the hair separated throughout like wearing your wash and go. So detangling is important, and it is a tedious task. Like, trust me, detangling is no easy task for me. If my head is going to do two things. It's going to itch and it's going to tangle. Like, that is hands down 100% without fail. I may get away with no frizz for a few days depending on what products I'm using, but it don't matter how well my hair is styled. She's going to itch and she's going to tangle. So detangling is key. As tedious a task as it may seem to be, don't skip it. And then the last tip that I do have for you guys, and I think I mentioned this in the video that I did previously that I linked above too, which is don't always assume it's you. Sometimes the products that you choose just don't work for what you want to do. And if that's the case, don't keep trying to make it work. Move on to something else until you find the thing that works. Stop spinning your wheels on, oh, this thing gave this person an amazing wash and go. Why isn't it working for me? Maybe I did something wrong. We don't have time for that in 2022. I think many of us have been around long enough to know that there are certain ingredients that are going to get the job done every single time. There are certain ingredients that we just need to stay away from, whatever they are for us. And there are certain products, you know, depending on not just what's in them, but their consistency, their thickness, their hold, you know, we know whether or not it's going to work for us. Stop shooting craps with your wash days, girl, because this stuff takes entirely too long. And even if you have managed to wrap it up in 2 hours, guess what? That's still 2 hours that you could be doing something more productive, right? So that's a lot of time spent to be playing Russian roulette with your wash day. Move on from the products if they don't give you the result. I'm not saying that you can't try a product the second time, but 3, 4, 5, 10, 12, we don't have time. Move on. I guarantee you'll find something else that will work for you. So those are the tips that I have to help you guys along with your wash and goes. If you have additional tips for the community, let us know down in the comments, because we got to help each other out here, y'all. We need to put some time back in this little time bank. We need to be doing other stuff. It's warm outside. We need to be outside, not inside worrying about products that ain't trying to work for us. Let me know what you guys think of these tips. Let me know what you thought of this video. If you would like to see more videos like this one, let me know in the comments below. And I appreciate y'all as always for watching. I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, and until next time.